The twin sons of Carander bathed the crystalline palace in golden light as Princess Zarella stormed through the marble halls. Her lavender skin flushed a deeper shade of violet, and her eyes, like twin pools of liquid silver, burned with fury. "Mom, why do I have to marry a human?" she yelled, her voice echoing off the high ceilings. Queen Veliana, regal and calm as always, didn't flinch. She stood near the arched balcony, overlooking the capital city of the Valari Empire. "Because peace is forged in union, not in war. You know this." Zarella spun around. "There are millions of Valari males, warriors, scholars, ambassadors. Why choose someone from a race that only discovered faster-than-light travel 2 centuries ago?" The queen turned, her golden headdress glinting in the sunlight. "Because, child, that human saved your life. And our empire." Zarella blinked. "He did what?" Queen Veliana smiled gently. "You were unconscious. During the Torgan ambush, your escape pod was damaged. The human, his name is Jason Cross, was the one who fought through the Torgan horde, alone, and carried you across the acid plains to safety. You owe him your life." The princess clenched her fists. "Gratitude doesn't mean I must marry him." "Perhaps," her mother said softly, "you should meet him before deciding." Jason stood in the grand reception hall, uncomfortable in the formal garb they'd dressed him in. Armorless, weaponless, surrounded by guards who didn't quite trust him. He felt like an exhibit at a museum rather than a guest of the Empire. He'd fought in a dozen conflicts, seen comrades die, negotiated ceasefires with alien warlords, but this? This was terrifying. Then she entered. Zarella was radiant, even in her anger. Her every step radiated power and elegance, but her eyes locked onto him like a targeting system. He straightened, instinctively bracing for impact. "So," she said, folding her arms, "you're the great human savior they've all been talking about." Jason raised an eyebrow. "I didn't do it for the fame, princess. Just didn't want your head blown off by a Torgan grenade." Her lips twitched. "Charming. And modest." He chuckled. "Well, I try." Zarella circled him slowly. "Do you even know what's at stake here? This alliance isn't just political. If we bond through marriage, our genetic codes are tied, symbolically and biologically. Our children would be hybrids." Jason shrugged. "If that's a problem, say the word. I didn't ask for this. I was just doing what I thought was right." That caught her off guard. She'd expected arrogance. Or desperation. Not this calm indifference. She narrowed her eyes. "You're not excited about marrying a princess?" "I don't even know you," he said simply. "And I don't believe in forcing people into things they hate." Zarella stared at him, stunned. Every suitor before him had groveled, pleaded, offered riches or flattery. This one? He was real. "What do you want, Jason Cross?" she asked quietly. "I want you to be free to choose. Just like I want to be free to walk away." She stood in silence for a moment, then turned to leave. But just before she exited the hall, she looked over her shoulder. "Come with me." They flew in a skimmer through the floating gardens of Zenthal, where gravity bent in artistic arcs and giant bloom beasts roamed. Jason looked out the window, amazed. "I grew up here," Zarella said. "All of this, and I was still raised like a caged bird." Jason glanced at her. "Funny. I spent most of my life in trenches, deserts, and ships. I'd have killed for a cage like that." She laughed softly. "It's not as glamorous as it looks." They talked. 4 hours. About war. Peace. Art. Food. Fear. Loss. And somewhere along the way, the princess stopped looking at him like an invader. She saw the scar on his cheek and asked how he got it. He told her, battle on Elter 4, saved 3 children during an orbital bombardment. She touched the scar, softly, thoughtfully. I thought humans were brutish, she whispered. But you're thoughtful. And I thought Valari were arrogant, he replied. But you're real. That night, she stood on her balcony, the stars stretching endlessly above. Do you still hate the idea of marrying a human? Her mother asked gently, stepping beside her. Zarella didn't answer right away. Then she whispered, I think I was afraid he'd treat me like a trophy. Or I'd be just another duty for him to endure. But, he doesn't want a crown. Or control. He just wants choice. The queen nodded. And you? I want to choose, too, she said. And I think I might choose him. The ceremonial hall was filled with representatives from dozens of alien species. A union between the Valari Empire and Earth wasn't just a marriage, it was a symbol. A beacon. Jason stood at the altar, heart pounding. Then she walked in. No longer a furious daughter or a reluctant princess, Zarella walked like a queen who had made her own choice. She took his hand. No words needed. Their bond wasn't forged in diplomacy. It was born from understanding. From honesty. And from two souls, different as stars and shadows, choosing to walk forward together. And as the galaxy watched, it wasn't just two hearts that aligned, but two worlds.